All right, so you're about to learn one of the most valuable skills in copywriting, and that's how to write effective headlines and hooks that convert. Because it doesn't matter what you write, nobody's going to watch your videos, nobody's going to read your sales letter if you don't know how to grab the right attention. A killer headline can make you a fortune, a losing headline will waste your time. So, this is a perfect example: headless body and topless bar. Tell me you could walk by the newspaper stand and not stop and pick this up. So this was actually a headline that the writer had to fight with his editor to get in there. And thank goodness he did. It went on to be famous, got him a ton of notoriety, and not only sold some papers, but I mean, really changed his career. And that's how effective a headline can be. So if you think about it, you need a headline or a hook for everything that you do. Sales letters, videos, articles and blogs, ads, mailers, packages. Your email, your subject line is ultimately a headline. Social media, chatbots, signs, webinars, pitches, right? You got to figure out an effective way to communicate concisely what it is that your business does. So here's a prime example of an epic fail. So when Elon Musk and his partners were trying to get PayPal off the ground, they struggled to really communicate it. They weren't really resonating with people. So their message was something along the lines of PayPal is a fully integrated financial infrastructure that allows consumers to securely process transactions with an easy to use interface. What the hell is that, right? So no wonder that nobody was paying attention. And it wasn't until they stumbled upon the fact that one of their lesser known features that they didn't think was a big deal really resonated with people. They hit the jackpot when they just simply said, PayPal allows you to send and receive money to your email address. Boom, bingo. I mean, just having that change in positioning and messaging helped to create a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar enterprise, right? So ultimately what you got to do is suck them in and get them to take action. And that action is usually to get the reader to continue either reading or watching, whatever it is that they might be doing. And just, as a quick note, the difference between a hook and a subject line, sometimes they're used interchangeably. A hook, in my opinion, can often be more than one headline. I think of the hook oftentimes as what's the general sort of theme of a product or of an offer. So you could have one hook that's like just basically the first headline that gets them to continue reading, that gets them to the second headline, and so on and so on and so on. So you're continually hooking throughout. It's not just that initial headline. So like with any other conversion writing, ultimately you're really looking at avoiding pain. And here's a quick example: work from home and escape your cubicle jail cell. All right, that's avoiding pain. Or you can write your headlines to find pleasure, right? To get paid to travel the world in 5 simple steps. So that always will remain sort of the, one end or the other that you're ultimately going to go for. But there are a few sort of emotions that work really, really well with headlines. So curiosity, all right, they say curiosity kills the cat, but it also fills the bank account. Controversy, anything that gets people riled up or really kind of, what the hell is this all about? FOMO, which, if you don't know FOMO, it's kind of become part of our vocabulary, fear of missing out. Really hitting greed. Humor is always effective, and then in certain situations, certainty is going to be your best weapon. So an example of curiosity: 2 bizarre secrets to getting rock hard abs. Right? Now, rock hard abs, obviously that's what they want, but the reason this would hook somebody, it's like, first of all, why is there 2, right? Why not 1 or 3? Like, what is this? And what's bizarre about it? Like, what could be so weird about, getting rock hard abs? Here's a controversial example: why you should punch your boss in the face tomorrow morning, right? You could say, how to go on and quit your job, but this is saying, it's just something just like, of course, controversy could be using politics or it could be using something else, but just something to really rock the boat to grab attention. An example of FOMO: here's everything you'll miss out on at the strike of midnight, right? It's just like, oh man, it's kind of like Cinderella. I got to get on this thing. And, instead of trying to sell what it is in the actual headline, I'm more making that fear before they even know what it is, so they'll want to continue reading on. Here's an example for greed: how to add 3 zeros to your bank account balance this year, right? Well, that's, it's something that's very visual with a number, And obviously, to be able to grow your bank account, people instantly are thinking about what it is that's in their bank account and what that would look like to add 3 zeros. And then here's an example of humor. How to pick up chicks even if you're the ugliest rooster in the hen house, right? Is it laugh out loud? Maybe not, right? But, you know, ultimately, as you're talking about a topic like picking up chicks, right? So you soften that by making a joke that ties in chickens, and, you know, even kind of like, you know, pokes a little bit of fun at the reader. So that's the kind of thing that's like, okay, cool, I could drop my guard instead of being like, hey, it's just another, you know, pickup artist kind of thing. Here's an example for certainty. We help seniors 65 plus get your prescriptions without hassle. You don't necessarily need to dazzle this audience, right? You just want to make it crystal clear what the heck is going on, because that's what they want. Is they just want tell me what's up here. Like the example that we showed earlier, it wasn't like, you know, we allow you to send money with email. That wasn't really a dazzling kind of thing. Maybe it's not a headline, but it's certainly a pitch. And you can see that if you can really cut to the chase on something complicated, it can be very, very powerful. All right. So in addition to a headline, I like to do something called sandwiching. So ultimately what that means is to put a pre-headline before or above your main headline, and then a sub-headline below. Obviously this doesn't work in all formats, but when you can, like on a sales letter or whatever that might be, it's very, very effective. So here's an example I might use for this training you're looking at right here. Ready for the laptop lifestyle? Learn how to write copy so good you'll need to buy a bigger wallet. Say goodbye to writer's block with this highly unorthodox and controversial step-by-step formula, right? It's pretty short and sweet, but it does a lot of stuff here, okay? It calls out the audience, ready for the laptop lifestyle, right? It makes them think of, oh, this is a chance. It's like, this isn't just learning copy, like this is a chance to change my lifestyle and get out of this grind that I've been in. And then instead of just saying, you're going to learn how to make a lot of money doing this copy, you know, we use kind of a clever thing that does that in such a way that's like, you'll need to buy a bigger wallet. And there's just something about phrasing things like that, right? It's like, learn how to, classic, right? I'm going to get value and I know what's in this for me right away. What's in it for me is always the number one question you have to answer no matter what you're writing, okay? People have about 10 seconds. And if they don't know what's in it for them, boom, peace, they're out, right? So learn how to write copy so good, you'll need to buy a bigger wallet. Say goodbye to writer's block, right? Pain, right? It's just taking the pain that they have, kind of pushing on that a little bit with this highly unorthodox. What is that? Like now I'm like curious, like what is this? Highly unorthodox and controversial, right? So it's like, what's so controversial about this? Like I gotta keep reading step-by-step formula. Right? So it's like, again, what I'm getting, the value that I'm getting, and what I'm about to receive. All right. So just a few more pre-headline examples. You know, this changes everything, ... kind of grabs attention right away. Attention men over 50, really focusing on your audience and talking directly to them. Remember that you're only going to be effective to a certain group of people. So it's better to really nail down a certain group and just crush it for that group rather than trying to be too general for everybody. And then limited time training reveals, you know, something that's got a little bit of scarcity to it, gives it what's about to come a little bit more weight. Okay, subheadline examples, you'll thank yourself later. It's like something, you'll thank yourself later. All right, cool, this is gonna be something that's worthwhile to me. It's easier than you'd ever imagine. Okay, so I hear this, maybe I'm not really super buying into it. It sounds complex. Okay, cool, I get it. And then hurry before it's too late. So something like, these are just short, sweet examples. Obviously your writing is gonna be different, but the key here is that you're getting something that's kind of the bridge between the headline to keep them going into the copy. I'm a big fan of ... by the way. I use it all the time. Spice up your headlines. So this is your opportunity to really use that creative mind, think outside the box, right? It's something that is provocative is always going to get more action than something that's boring, unless you're in a position where you just want to be crystal super clear and boring, which is not very often, to be honest. So you could say learn how to leave your job, or you could say finally break the shackles of your 9-to-5 job and become free. All right, just analogy or simile, anything to kind of drive it home. How to get more customers versus get customers throwing credit cards at your face like ninja stars, right? It's just goofy, it's crazy, and it's just, it's really getting the same point across, but in a fun way that's going to get me to want to keep going. And then do this to get more clients versus why the small tweak will bring clients begging on their knees. All right. And you might say, well, Matt, that's kind of long and dramatic. Not every situation allows for so many words. What I've read is, depending on the length, you don't want to go too long, but when you have the ability, if you've got the space, don't be afraid to use it a little bit. All right, as long as every word that you deliver, because every word in a headline makes a massive difference. Every word has to bring value. So let's show you a real world example here. Okay, so not long ago, I went looking for a quiz generator, right, to kind of make one of those quiz websites. And this is one of the ones I saw that looked the nicest. Like when I look at this, I'm like, okay, this is obviously professional stuff. This is no joke. All right, but to me, make a quiz to generate leads for your business. I don't want to say it's bad, but then I see the button is make your own quiz for free. I'm just like, I'm not super compelled, just me personally, right? Why quizzes, right? This could be, why quizzes can multiply your leads fivefold, or it could be, anything, but it's just, to me, it's just, with Interact, you can create 3 types of quizzes. I'm impressed by the page, but I'm not super just hooked. It didn't hook me, right? Then I look at this one, and this one was actually, I found it from an ad, right? Now, if you look at this page, I mean, this is not as pretty. No question about it. The other one looks way more professional, but look at this. Huge numbers of hot targeted leads, massive boost in conversion, all from quizzes built in seconds, right? And then it's a simple call to action, right? What's the call to action is to hit play and to learn more. And if you look at this, like we've got some good news and we've got some weird news. Wow, what's, like the good news? Okay, cool. I'd like to know that, but I really want to know what this weird news is. Right? I can't help but read. Quizzes are insanely effective, but one of the world's leading conversion experts tried one out in one of the world's most competitive niches. Not even he saw this coming. A quiz increased lead capture by 500%, right? I mean, this is just, and realize this is when you create pages, people read the headlines. They're going to read this 10,000 times more than they're going to read this, right? Like this, none of this matters. None of this matters unless you nail this, and then you nail this, and you nail this. People will go from one headline to the next. All right. So this is just a real world example of what a massive difference is. And why is it that this, this company is not advertising and this company is? Because they killed it with the headlines. Okay. So just 6 classic styles and structures that you can use for your headlines here. Mystery. All right, what's this all about? Numbers. You've seen this a million times. How to, very, very common. A report, asking a question and using a testimonial. These are probably the most traditional ways that you can create a headline. So I'm going to give you the same headline used in 6 different ways here. All right, so mystery. The weird trick to lose annoying belly fat. And in fact, this is probably one of the headlines that you might have even seen yourself. This one has been advertised a lot, and I guarantee has created tens of millions of dollars with this headline or a very close variation of this. 5 ways, this is the number, 5 ways to lose annoying belly fat quickly, right? Cool, 5 ways, cool. I'm going to get something. I know what I'm getting. That 5 is going to draw your eyes. All right, it's going to get a lot of readers. How to lose annoying belly fat quickly. All right. The report, the truth about why you can't lose that annoying belly fat. It's just like, oh man, I've just been stuck. Well, this is the truth. All right. Question version. Would you try this to lose that annoying belly fat? This all caps on purpose? Because ultimately what we're doing here is like, what is this? Right? So those are, just the structures that you're going to see most frequently, and obviously you can build those out any way you want. Here's just a list of like swipeable structures. So the secret to blank, right? Very, very common. A little known blank. Do you suffer from blank, right? How I blank without blank. Discover blank, all right? Say goodbye to the easiest way to, the fastest way to, how to blank without blank. Why your blank is blank. Or warning, right? It's a strong word. It's going to grab attention. Indisputable proof. These are just some basic structures, right? You don't need to follow any of these formulas, right? You got the 6 most classic headlines right there, and ultimately you can do your thing. But if you're the kind of person that just likes to start with something, you can swipe one of these and add your own color in there. So just some words that I found to be especially strong, and I've not only tested out a lot of headlines in my day, I've also researched this quite a bit. Embarrassing. It's just, that's the thing that people will run from almost more than anything, is embarrassment. Ripped off. Nobody likes to be ripped off. Shocking. All right. Little known. All right. Oh, this is something I'm gonna get some kind of inside scoop here. Mistakes. Right. Eliminate. Ultimate. Like in regards to, there's a million ways to say something's good or it's awesome. The ultimate to me is just the best. If you're gonna go that route to try to come up with a word that says this is good, this is the ultimate. Stop wasting, right, is very powerful. It's like, what if you, not only like what do you want, but it's like what's being wasted. Nobody likes waste. World's best is very strong, right? If you're gonna say it's better than saying number one or whatever, it's world's best. Best is just a really, really, really good word. Combined with worlds just works. Step by step, people love. Sexy, sneaky, right? People like to feel like they're sort of on the inside with it. Weird is a good one. Freaking out. Stunning, all right? Anything to do with cry or tears. Viral, it's just, especially when it comes to, everybody wants to go viral. Like that's like the thing that people really, really want. Regret, helping people avoid regret is just a very, very heavy term. Ridiculous, the future of, the truth. And I italic the last 3 because, I think that they're just so used that they're not as powerful maybe as they once were. But at the same time, now, easy and free, all right, there's a reason that, that don't think that it's like, you're like free. It's like used to be, you could say free colon and then whatever you want, and it's like, oh, if it's free, that's great. Well, everything's free now, right? But so it's not the thing that to really depend on, but at the same time, it is powerful, right? Easy. It's like, man, if you remember those old AOL ads, it's like easy, 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 and now it's just, it's like, even if it's just that thing that it's at the end, it's a last subliminal thing of why now is the time to take action. Even if it isn't that super, super compelling thing, it is going to improve your conversion rate. All right, so if you're, just kind of looking for ideas and you want to get creative, obviously I've given you a lot to work with here, but go to a website called buzzsumo.com. What they do is they take all the content on all the major social sites and they really rank it in regards to like what's got the most engagement. So you can go there and you can like see what's working and never rip it off exactly, but you can create a variation like, oh, cool, this is working in that niche. I can just switch out a few words. Boom, I got a headline. Reddit posts is great for this. If you think about really what drives Reddit, if you don't know Reddit, it's basically a bunch of articles and posts from around the web, and they're all in this big list, and people sort them up and down, thumbs up, thumbs down. So you see, largely based upon the headline, what people like and what they don't. Facebook ads, if you don't know this already, Google it, but ultimately you can spy on other people's Facebook ads. So you can look at the Facebook ads of any company. So if you know a company's spending a lot of money on ads, then they probably have good headlines. Amazon book titles are really good for this. Like, look to see, it's like, what's a good headline, and also the sub headlines. All right, these are written by people who, generally speaking, know what they're doing. Not always, right? But that's a good place for ideas. And the Google Trends is also a good thing if you want to figure out what's hot, what's growing, what's going on, what phrase should I use versus other phrases. Google Trends and you'll find that. But really it's like you've got a ton of ideas and models to work with. And just, like it's great to look for ideas, but also know that you can come up with magic. All right. Just don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because at the end of the day, if you have the opportunity, my parting words for you is to split test, split test, split test. All right. Because and not everything gives you the opportunity to split test. Obviously, if you're writing an article for the newspaper and you need that front page headline, you don't get that opportunity, but a lot of stuff you can, and it's not just web stuff, right? You can split test mailers, you can split test packaging, you can split test all sorts of stuff. I can tell you that I can think of one headline that jumps out. It was make more money doing real estate part-time than you do at your full-time job. Okay. That was probably variation for real estate training. I mean, I would bet it was like 15 or 20, but that headline, when we hit it, it was the winner for years, and it made so much money. And we wouldn't have got there if we'd have just did one headline and then stopped. So split test, split test, split test, split test. But most importantly, from here, what your assignment is to do is go out, right? Take this training, take a couple of these formulas, and make at least 3 headlines, right? At least 3 headlines with varying angles, varying hooks. Use some of the classic stuff, and really like. Even if you don't just split test them, you're not quite there yet in terms of testing online. Even if you just sent them to people to get feedback, really start to get there and know that it doesn't matter what you're talking about. If it's a sign in front of your business, right? You get an effective sign, an effective message on that sign, and it can really make a difference. So with that said, go out, make it happen. Make those conversions, make those sales, and I'll see you guys on the next training.